Hey, we are less than a week out from the end of this 30-day challenge, and I am feeling froggy. I'm feeling pretty good. The food is very satiating in a biological way, so I'm not hungry, and that's a big reason why I chose this, because if I'm going to be working really hard, doing this intense work planning season for my job, I do not want to be struggling with hunger during the day or during the night when I'm working and stressed out. That is just a recipe for disaster. My work would suffer. I would definitely not stick to this. The potatoes really, I don't like or dislike potatoes. Like, I'm kind of neutral on potatoes. French fries, on the other hand, those are delicious. But I don't tend to cook a ton with potatoes. Occasionally, but not a lot. I think, putting rice in the rice cooker is a lot easier if we're doing a carb. Or I really like pasta if we're going to have a carb. And my kids do too. So potatoes just seem like kind of a more labor-intensive carb than the others. But they're really not. I've learned that. I just take a big boiling pot of water, stick a bunch of potatoes in there, and then I have potatoes. And they're cooked in that form, and they're in the fridge, so then it's a resistant starch. But then I can chop them up and put them in my breakfast skillet if I want. I can put them in air fryer. I can do all sorts of things. I like to kind of take them out of the fridge, mash them up, and then stick them in the pan with eggs for breakfast or with cabbage for lunch. So just very easy. I love how easy of a carb source it is. One of the biggest things I've noticed is the other vegetables, the carrots and the broccoli, and now cabbage. It takes a lot more effort to prepare those, and really it's not very much effort at all. Like broccoli, you wash it, you chop it, you put it in the oven. I really like oven roasted broccoli, and you don't even need to put any oil in it. You can if you want, but I find the taste of that roasted broccoli is really delicious and is not oil dependent. Broccoli is also very toothsome. You feel like you're eating something substantial, so I really like that. I like the flavor, and I like how filling it is. But it's just because this is very busy work season and I don't have my normal life hours available, the washing and the chopping is hard. I did at the very beginning of the challenge buy pre-cut broccoli, though I didn't find that tastes as good, and I didn't really like eating it. I guess it was kind of old or something. I was trying a number of different cooking methods at that time, so I did boiling or roasted and air fried, and I definitely prefer, for this particular challenge, I've definitely preferred the roasted. So I can't remember what I was going. So one thing that I have learned from this is, and it gives me a sense of safety. It gives me a sense of self-trust. I can trust myself. I can count on myself. This morning I woke up, I got the kids ready. School's just started, so we're still getting adjusted to the morning schedule. Normally I have time for a morning walk, and with the busy work schedule I haven't. And on top of that, the kids' school, my son's school, starts an hour earlier than it did last year, so now the time where I normally would be walking, I'm helping to get him ready. So I still need to figure out the timing for all of that, but I'm not going to worry about that until after I'm done with this work planning season at work and I have my normal hours back. Then I can plan something. But right now I'm just sort of in triage mode. So I got my kids ready, I got them out the door, and I had a call right at 8 o'clock. I don't always have an 8 a.m. call, and my daughter's bus is at 8:25. So it was very stressful, and everything had to be like precisely minute to minute orchestrated so that I could get off this call a few minutes early and get her to the bus stop. So I did not have time to make food for me. And usually when I wake up, I'm very hungry and I need to eat right away. But last night we had dinner at my sister's house and ate later than I normally eat. I like to eat really early. I like to eat dinner at 4 o'clock, honestly. Even 3:30, I like to eat dinner. And then I'm like not hungry for the rest of the night. And that just works for my metabolism or my system. I just really need to eat first thing when I wake up, and I like waking up early. And then later in the day, like everything kind of slows down. My brain slows down, my metabolism slows down, and I just don't need any food until I go to bed. And I go to bed early. But yesterday we had family dinner, and dinner's a bit later, and I had a workout that day. So I had eaten my normal food, and then had a pre-workout. And my workout was much later than it normally is because my trainer's on vacation, so I was training with somebody else at the gym. So it was a 4 p.m. training session. So I had my pre-workout before that, post-workout after it, and then I wasn't even going to eat dinner. But my dad cooked my special food for me, which was so kind of him to do and thoughtful, even though he literally put a chicken breast in the air fryer and put no seasoning on it, didn't cut it. Like, I was like, this is going to be terrible. It ended up not being so bad, but so I got to my sister's house and I ate a chicken breast and some more very high protein Greek yogurt, zero fat Greek yogurt. My pre-workout had been that same Greek yogurt with 2 mandarins, and my post-workout had been that same Greek yogurt kind of in a savory. I added spices and seasonings to make it like a savory sauce, and I just ate that because I was short on time. So I really wasn't hungry for dinner, and I ate it anyway, and then I was like kind of full. It didn't feel great, and I slept really poorly. I was up at 1 for like an hour, almost 2 hours. And maybe it's work stress, maybe it's the late workout, maybe it's I also did a bunch of walking on the treadmill yesterday. That's something new I'm adding in. So I'm working. I have this cool setup, this like little thing that comes with another thing, and you put it on, you like attach it to the treadmill at the gym. If you have a treadmill at home, you can do it at home, but you attach it and you can set your laptop on it. So yesterday, before my workout at like 2:30, I left the coffee shop, went to the gym to try to get some walking in. I set it at a 3 incline and then 2.2 miles per hour. So very slow, but I was able to work. So I'm wondering if my body is just adjusting to the additional stress of the walk. I would like to try to walk a lot more, because this work planning that I'm doing right now is so annoying. I hate it. It's so frustrating, and I just sit for so many hours. It just ruins my life sitting for that many hours staring at a screen. So I can't do all of my work while walking on a treadmill, but a lot of the work during the earlier part of the day, I can. Some of the spreadsheet analysis, I need the big screen at home. But if I could do 2 or 3 hours on the treadmill walking very slowly, I think that would make a huge difference in my progress. And mentally, and physically, I think it would improve my mood significantly, because I would be this car is doing. He's got a turn signal on, but he's not turning. There we go, he turned it off. Okay. So I would like to move more, because I just think it makes me personally, as an individual, I think I have a high movement need, and so walking, I think, will make me happier. But whatever happened, all of those combinations, I'm not sure. My sleep was very disrupted last night, much worse than it's been lately. It's not been great lately, but that was really bad. I was just not tired. So I woke up this morning and did not have time to eat breakfast, and I also wasn't hungry. I made my morning decaf coffee with half and half, got the kids ready, and went straight into that meeting. And then once the meeting was over and the kids were on the bus, I had a little bit of time before my next call, and I was like, I might be out of potatoes right now, cooked potatoes, so I need to boil another batch. So I decided to go out for breakfast. And I was like, okay, I can go out, and if I want this to be my treat meal for the week, it will be my treat meal for the week, and I can have whatever I want. I'm going to go to First Watch because I like that place. I usually go out for coffee with my sister on Saturdays, and I was planning on getting a pastry with her because it's, sounds so nice. But I don't have to do that. I can do my treat meal this morning if I want to. And if I want to, I can also just follow my diet with the restaurant food. So I can get potatoes, not ones fried in a ton of oil, obviously, but just regular potatoes and eggs and chicken breast. If they have broccoli, if they have cabbage, if they have tomatoes, if they have carrots. And it's true that the sodium content is going to be higher because it's restaurant food. And the oil might not be olive oil that they cook it in. But it's an omelet. It's fine. So I got to the restaurant and I looked at the menu and I was like, can I have an omelet with chicken breast in it and potatoes on the side? And she was like, what kind of bread do you want? I was like, no bread. And it came with bread, it came with sauce. I did get a second decaf coffee, which is not planned. I usually just get one. But it's like 4 of those little half and half creamer things. It's fine. To be able to go to a restaurant and like have that self-trust where I can just find something on the menu I want to eat. I could have a treat meal. I'm allowed to have a treat meal if I want. I'm allowed to follow my diet if I want. Either one is fine. There's something just so mentally relaxing about that, to just feel calm about the food. Either way I go, either one is fine. And knowing that, like, well, if that's my treat meal, then I'm not going to have a treat meal for the rest of the week until my diet challenge ends on Tuesday, and it is Thursday, so I have not that much further to go. But I think that's been one really helpful practice that I've learned, where it's like, ooh, I want this thing, and having the wanting not be a bad thing, not be like, oh, you can't want that, or oh, not again. You just want treats all the time, you treat pound. So I could have the thought, ooh, what if I just make this a treat meal? I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. It's probably going to be a long 2 days with work planning deadlines hitting at the same time. So why don't I feed myself something good? And then having it be like no big deal if I chose the treat meal or the regular meal. And I got my food, and obviously it's big portions, so I ate half of it and I have half of it left, and it was so good. The potatoes were very delicious, very satiating. The chicken was good. It was a great breakfast. So yay, forward motion. And literally it's what, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 5 days left. Feeling pretty good. Woo, woo, woo. This morning the scale was 177. And I'll do my measurements on Saturday. So in 2 days we'll see what's happened between last week. Because first week I dropped significantly in my measurements. Second week dropped again. Third week, which was this super stressful, crazy late night, working really extra more than even the other 2 weeks, That, my measurements went up a bit, but it could have been sodium, it could have been the stress from the late nights, who knows, water weight, or it could have been just eating more food. I did not follow the diet for a couple days that week, but it was not major things. It was like eating chocolate chips, eating popcorn. So I think it was more like probably water weight. We'll find out this week though what happened with the measurements. So I'll keep you in the loop. See you in the next one. Woo!